call the City of Muskegon City Commission meeting for October 12, 2010 to order. I'd like to welcome Pastor Tim Cross from Living Word Church to lead us in prayer, to be followed by the pledge. Pastor?
Let's bow our heads, please. Father, we just thank you. We thank you for your goodness. We thank you for your faithfulness. We thank you for the beautiful season, this fall season that we're enjoying, the beautiful colors. Father God, you said in the midst of everything we were to give thanks. And Father, we thank you just for all your goodness that you've displayed to us. And Father, we just ask today that as these men and women are here that have served our community as community leaders, Father, we ask that you grant them wisdom in the decisions that they make today, wisdom in really this season, how to operate in this season of this city and of this area, the season that we're in economically, the season that we're facing just as a community. Father, we ask you to grant them wisdom for this season, to function properly in this season, to help lead our community to prosperity, to better times, to a better season. And Father, you said in your word that your thoughts and your plans towards us were plans for good, not for evil, plans for a future and an expected end. Father, I believe that you have good plans for the city of Muskegon, that you have a good future for this city. And I thank you for granting these men and women the wisdom to make the decisions, to follow that plan that you have that will lead us into the future that you've prepared for us. Father, we thank you for these, and we thank you for as well the city workers, the policemen and the firefighters, and just the public works people. Father, we say thank you for the jobs that they do. And Father, we ask for your grace to be upon them, your protection to be upon them, your wisdom to be upon their lives as they help our community and they serve us. And Father, we thank you for this in the name of Jesus. Amen.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pastor, once again, thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to join us tonight and lead us in prayer, and we hope your recovery from your accident continues. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Wisniewski?
Here.
Commissioner Carter?
Here.
Vice Mayor Gallman?
Here.
Commissioner Shepard? Here. Commissioner Spataro?
Here.
Mayor Warmington?
Here.
Commissioner Waringo?
Here.
Thank you. May we have the consent agenda read, please?
Approval of the minutes. City Clerk, summary request. To approve the minutes of the City Commission meeting that was held on Tuesday, September 28, 2010. Staff recommendation, approval of the minutes. Homeless Continuum of Care Network and City of Muskegon, Memorandum of Understanding, MOU, and appointment of City Commission representative. Planning Economic Development. Summary request. The City of Muskegon has had a voting seat on the Homeless Continuum of Care Network Review Committee for several years. The current MOU is outdated. In order to retain the city seat on the review committee, a new MOU must be approved. Commissioner Larry Spataro has served as the city's representative in the past. Staff recommendation to approve the MOU and authorize the mayor's signature and appoint Commissioner Spataro as the City of Muskegon representative to the review committee. CDBG Program Administration Agreement, City of Muskegon, City of Norton Shores, Planning Economic Development. Summary request. The City of Muskegon has contracted with the City of Norton Shores to administer their Community Development Block Grant program since 2006. The agreement to administer the program was renewed in 2008 and extended to June 30, 2009. However, although the City of Muskegon has continued to administer the Norton Shores CDBG program, the agreement has not been renewed since that time. Therefore, the agreement is effective July 1, 2009 and extends through June 30, 2011. Staff recommendation to approve the agreement and authorize the mayor and city clerk to sign. West Michigan Metropolitan Transportation Plan dues FY fiscal year 2011. City manager. Summary request to approve remittance of the City of Muskegon's portion of the West Plan dues for the fiscal year 2011 payable to West Michigan Shoreline Regional Development Commission. This agency determines projects and distributes federal transportation funds. Staff recommendation to approve this request. Amend Article 3 of Chapter 74, the City Code of Ordinance, Engineering. Summary request. Adopt the proposed amendments to Section 74 to 84, 85, and 86 of Chapter 74, Article 3 of the City's Code of Ordinance, providing one more option to enforce the repairs and collection of hazardous sidewalks by billing the owners without creating a special assessment district. This proposed alternative, as outlined in Section 7486, will help the city deal with hazardous sidewalks after issuing a notice to the owner and subsequently making the repairs, thus preventing costly claims. Staff recommendation to approve the proposed amendments to Articles 74, 84, 85, and 86 of Chapter 74 of the City Code of Ordinance. Budgeted vehicle replacements. Chevrolet Impalas, Public Works, summary request. Approval to purchase two 2011 Chevrolet Impalas from Don Ritma Chevrolet. Staff recommendation, approve the purchase. Budgeted equipment setup, Public Works, summary request. Authorize staff to purchase 5 service bodies from Arista Truck Systems and 1 plow from Hoekstra Equipment. Staff recommendation, approve the purchases. Merit Network Incorporated Metro Act Permit Engineering. Summary request, approve the permit from Merit Network to install aerial fiber optics facilities within the city's right-of-way and authorize the mayor and clerk to sign said permit. Staff recommendation, approve the permit and sign document. Removal of Zoning Board of Appeals member and appointments to various boards, city clerk. Summary request, to remove Eleanor Fife from the Zoning Board of Appeals, appoint John Durbin to the Board of Review, and appoint Tammy Halterman to the Zoning Board of Appeals. Staff recommendation, approval. Committee recommendation, the Community Relations Committee recommended approval at their October 11th meeting.
Thank you. Commissioners, you've heard the consent agenda read. Are there any items you'd like to have removed for further discussion? Commissioner Spataro?
Seeing none, I would move that we approve the consent agenda as read.
Second.
It's been moved by Commissioner Spataro, supported by Commissioner Waringo to approve the consent agenda as read. Any discussion? I guess my only question is, Commissioner Spataro, are you willing to continue to serve on the homeless continuum?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Anything else? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Carter?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Gallman?
Yes.
Commissioner Shepard?
Yes.
Commissioner Spataro?
Yes.
Mayor Warmington?
Yes.
Commissioner Waringo?
Yes.
Commissioner Wisniewski?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. New business, item A, please.
Richards Park License and Management Agreement, Public Works. Summary request, to approve an agreement with the Muskegon Conservation District to locate their main office on a portion of the Richards Park property. Staff recommendation to approve the agreement and to authorize the mayor and clerk to sign the agreement.
Commissioner Spataro.
Thank you. So we may begin discussion. I would move that we approve the Richards Park License and Management Agreement.
Second.
It's been moved by Commissioner Spataro to approve the Richards Park License and Management Agreement with the Muskegon Conservation District, supported by Commissioner Shepard. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Vice Mayor Gallman?
Yes.
Commissioner Shepard?
Yes.
Commissioner Spataro?
Yes.
Mayor Warmington?
Yes.
Commissioner Waringo?
Yes.
Commissioner Wisniewski?
Yes.
Commissioner Carter?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate it.
When is the move? When is it? When can we expect? I thought somebody was going to stand up and speak.
When they're ready. Item B, please.
Consideration of 2011 COLA for retirees, finance. Summary request. It is time to consider whether an annual cost of living adjustment, COLA, should be awarded to city retirees. Under the city's COLA program, permanent cost of living increases are made to pensioners retired 5 years or more. COLA payments are capped at 75% of the CPI and are payable only when investment performance exceeds estimates and the COLA is deemed affordable. The last COLA was in 2009 when a 0.50% COLA was granted. The collapse of the financial market in late 2008 continues to take a big toll on the city's pension fund, as noted in the most recent actuarial valuation. Given the unprecedented economic and investment environment we are in and the severe market losses suffered by the city's pension fund, staff recommends no retiree COLA be awarded for the year beginning January 1st, 2011. Staff recommendation, commission action affirming staff's recommendation that no COLA increase be granted to city retirees in 2011.
Thank you. Vice Mayor Gowan?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I would move that we affirm the staff's recommendation that no COLA increase be granted to the city retirees in 2011.
Support.
It's been moved by Vice Mayor Gowan, supported by Commissioner Carter, to go with the staff recommendation for no COLA increase being granted to city retirees for the year 2011. Is there any discussion? Commissioner Spataro.
Just one comment. A cost of living adjustment is just that. It's based on a cost of living as measured by some imperfect measurement. There's no perfect measurement. We use CPI, which is the Consumer Price Index, like most other governmental entities. And based on the Consumer Price Index, there's been basically no inflation the last couple of years. So, the cost of living based on that index has remained flat, and therefore I think this is a reasonable action for us to take.
Thank you. Any other comments or discussion?
Mr. Mayor?
Commissioner
you.
Shepherd?
I would just like to reiterate the fact that the financial collapse were in 2008. Just to keep that in mind.
Thank you. Any other discussion or comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Shepherd?
Yes.
Commissioner Spataro?
Yes.
Mayor Warmington?
Yes.
Commissioner Waringo?
Yes.
Commissioner Wisniewski?
Yes.
Commissioner Carter?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Galvin?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Commissioners, is there any other business you'd like to bring forward? Is there anyone in the audience that would care to address the commission tonight? Sir, please step forward to the microphone, and I'll need your name and address, please.
I like that.
Okay. It would be to your right.
Right over here, sir.
Sorry.
Good evening. My name is James Edward Bruce. I'm a resident of Muskegon Heights. I have an grievance that I want to bring to the attention of the council. At the last public tax auction, I attended that auction, and I was a bidder on some property for a company that I'm a part of called Environment Maintenance. And what we was trying to do was address the problem that we have in this county, this state, and in this country of homelessness. And in addition, we had several small businesses that were interested in some affordable property. So at the auction, I bid it on some property. I think it's in the Shapiro District. It's located at 919 Windsor. And at the time, I addressed the bidding auctioneer, and I don't see that very well, and I had an associate with me, so I asked them, but I asked specifically, was this property on the demo list? And he said, according to his bid list, it was not listed. And so therefore, I placed a bid, and I was successful, as I bid on several other pieces. Some I wasn't successful on. But subsequently, since that time, we have, when I went to see the property, it didn't have no demolition notice on it, and therefore it was just that it was a condemned property. But that it didn't have any other statement alluding to that problem, alluding to that problem. So therefore, as owner of a maintenance group, we do indoor, outdoor maintenance. We began to start fixing on the property. And so I came down, they told me at the auction that the only thing required for me to pay the summer tax, back tax. Came down there to see what the tax was. They told me I had 30 days to pay it. And so I thought that was the end of it. However, I later called one of the inspectors, and I was asking what that was. I got a sheet on it. What was wrong? I wanted to know if that was all that was wrong with the property. And then he surprised me when he told me that, oh, you know, that property is up for demo. I said, how soon that is up for demo? He said, we're going to be looking at probably another week or so. I said, well, why would it still be on the list? And you had it on a demo, and I bidded my money. It seemed like if you had been voted to be demolished 6 months in advance, shouldn't have been a reason that it was going to still be on the list, the bidding list. And so, in the meantime, though, I had, when I about the business, we had started fixing on the property. We had moved the debris, cut the grass, and started fixing on it. And we also had took some applications of some people that want to be in it. So right now, I have approximately 5 businesses that was interested in a business site there. And we had, it was a residential property in the back, and we had approximately four people that was interested in some room, which we were going to be some very, it was going to be some property that's going to be very affordable. And so I had several inquiries about the property. And so, but what my problem is that, well, really I'm coming to you all to ask y'all to reconsider that, because at a time when we have all this, when we have a lot of homelessness and a lot of vacancies, and we got some group that trying to help alleviate that problem. So I don't think it was fair, first of all, that it should have still been on the bid list 6 months later, and I should have been really, what I believe, tricked into buying some property that was on the bid list. And secondly, they probably don't need that much fixing up. I would have it ready to be occupied within 30 days, no doubt about it, because have some people want to move in on November 1st. And I talked to the manager's office, and I talked with the supervisor of the inspection department, I guess. And so they was talking about, you probably have to ask for an injunction, and then talking about a $5,000 bond I'm about to put up. And so I think that's unreasonable too, because the money I would need to make sure and also I want to say that we are in the business of making the property into a green property. That means we will go fully insulated. We're going to use. We plan to also go to some alternative sources of heating and electrifying the building. And but that is going to be a big handicap. I am already a handicapped person, but I have had the privilege of being trained in marketing and business. So I do function, thanks be to God, to this day. But that is putting me at a very big handicap. Our group trying to put forth the bond and thing, we could be putting that into rehabilitating the property. So I come to you to this commission, the mayor, Commissioner Patero is in his district, and the rest of the council, to ask you all would reconsider that order and give me an opportunity to rehabilitate that property and put it on the tax roll. At a time we got so many needs for the tax dollar, we are running short, state and local locales, and I would think it'll be better used. Making it a viable property than to be filling up our landfills with some additional debris. So I would plead to you guys to reconsider that order and give me an opportunity to put people at work. We've got approximately, it'll be approximately from 7 to 10 people that would be directly employed with this venture between the commercial revenue. Will be housing. We have enough space to put for 3. It'll be like a boarding house in the back, but it's got all of the facilities that we will have, single rooms, and we can. They would be efficient apartments, but it would be affordable. And so I think we would. I just think it would be better served if we could be able to go forward with this project. Again, I thank you all very much for hearing me out, and I look forward to working with you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bruce.
And I do have some documents on it that came from the commission warrant.
All right, thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I spoke to Mr. Bruce, I believe it was last week, about this particular property. Currently, this property is out to bid for demolition. That's the stage we're in. The bids were advertised in the paper this past week, and I spoke with Mr. Bruce about that. All the paperwork was filed properly with the county at the time as we've gone through this process, and I don't have the file with me, but that's where we are in the stage. I spoke with Mr. Bruce about, even at this late hour, it's still possible to obtain a temporary restraining order to stop the demolition process, so we certainly have no problem with that. Explain generally that we generally require the property owner to post a $5,000 bond with the city, and then we would work with them to set the timetable. So that's where this particular property is. I don't know when this property came to you, but it's been some time ago when you made the declaration.
It was March 23rd, 2010. I pulled up the dangerous building list. So we voted to demolish on March 23rd of this year. It's been on the list for several years.
And the reason why it hadn't been demolished before that time is that we bundle these projects together and bid them out, usually 5 or 6 or 7 at a time.
So that's the background of the property.
Is there anything that the commission so desire that they could do to change this, or is it too far along in the process?
You can do whatever you want. I think, just from a staff perspective, we would caution you because of what you might get from others, coming forward at some point, wanting the same consideration.
I just wondered. Commissioner Spataro?
Thank you. I haven't had a chance to speak with Mr. Bruce. I just had a phone message late last night, and it's been kind of a crazy day at the office. But I think this is a good cautionary example of doing your due diligence when you buy tax reverted property. The city is not involved in a tax reversion auction process. I would caution, regardless of the jurisdiction in which a property lies, to make sure you're talking to that jurisdiction to see if there are issues with that particular property. Check to see if there are other liens on the property. The title may not be clear even though you buy it off the tax auction. So there are a lot of potential pitfalls with purchasing property off of either foreclosure auctions or tax reversion auctions. And unfortunately, it appears that that's what's happened here. Certainly our long-standing policy that we have enforced pretty much uniformly, I can't think of any exceptions, is that once we have voted to demolish a property, that a new owner has an opportunity, if they're willing to enter into a consent judgment. And the reason we ask for that is that in many cases, these properties have been sitting as a blight in the community for several years in some instances, many months at the minimum. And we want to make sure that anyone who says they're going to repair a property actually follows through. And if they don't, the taxpayers are held harmless because of the delay. So that's why we requested a temporary restraining order, and that's why we asked for a bond, if you will, a deposit, an escrow account, so that if the project's not completed, that money can be used to demolish the property and hold the taxpayers harmless. If the property is brought back up to code, then that is refunded to the owner of the property who placed it in escrow. I'm not sure what else we can advise here.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Shepherd?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is an unfortunate situation, and now, from what I'm understanding here, this was some bidded property that was bidded by the county, and in the bid process of the county, that the city had a lien on the house, or whatever it is, for repairs. Is that correct?
For the
Am I
demolition.
correct?
No, we didn't have a lien on the house for repair.
No, I don't mean a lien, I mean had it on the list for.
It had already been concurred by the city commission to demolish
Demolish it.
the house.
And, okay,
And
that's
what didn't occur was, or what it appears did not occur, was that the prospective property owner, prospective buyer did not do a title search to find out that it was on the demolition list. That it
Okay.
was being
Well,
demolished by the city.
Yeah, this is so unfortunate. It does teach a lesson to those who are out purchasing and for bidding. I guess that's where I was coming in at, that this property was bidded out by the county, and somebody bought the property, but they did not check to see whether or not that property was in or not in compliance. And that is so unfortunate, but still in all, whatever the commission is willing to do about this, I would be willing to support it, for the simple reason is that if it can get permits in order to do what needs to be done, because I think that is one of the reasons why it was on demolition in the first place, is because of probably the condition. So I'm kind of looking at if this person is willing. Now, one of the things we did have in mind is that the $5,000 is only it's not like you're going to lose that money, but if you continue on with the policy of taking care of the issues, the $5,000 will be returned back to you. But if it is not, then the $5,000 will be used for the demolition. Is that right?
Yes.
So, and I'm just not even sure that, hopefully that the new owner understands that.
Mr. Klebecker conveyed that to him.
Yeah, I just want to urge caution again, as Mr. Mazzei did in this process. I've been doing this for 6 years now, and once we've been post your action, we've not gone back to reverse a decision, and I think that opens the door to some real potential problems. We always work with folks. Matter of fact, I was on the phone with someone today who that property may be coming to you at the next meeting. And as I told him, we'll work right up till the minute I walk through the door. If they can somehow satisfy us that we're going to do something, we're certainly willing to work them. What you're starting to see here, what you've seen in this particular case with Mr. Bruce, we're starting to see a little bit more where with tax reverted properties, with the number of foreclosures out there, folks are not doing their homework prior to purchasing these properties. This is not the first time we've encountered this, certainly not this late date in the process, not this close to an actual demolition, but this is something that we're starting to encounter more and more, and I suspect it will be that way for some time, especially where people buy multiple properties. Some do their homework, some don't, and that leads to these type of issues. So, yes.
Mr. Mayor?
Commissioner Spataro?
One other thing, I've also pulled up the zoning map because my radar went off when you mentioned boarding house and so on. Windsor Avenue, except for the one lot that faces Henry Street, is zoned R1. So it would, anything done on Windsor Avenue would have to be a single-family residence.
Any other discussion, Commissioners? Okay. All right. Well, Mr. Bruce, thank you for coming. Apparently, the commission is going to hold to their order to demolish, and you still have the opportunity to go to circuit court and get a stop on it and proceed to do the work that needs to be done. Yes, sir.
Why does it have to be at 5,000? Why could it be reasonable? We're trying to put it, I'm not in the business of trying to just give away some money, you know, and that's also, remember, this commission put that demo order out 6 months ago. There's no reason, and the day when you have computers and things, that should have been on still on that county list. And then I turn around and pay it there, pay my money out. You had 6 months and a day and age like this, that's unacceptable. And the next thing about it, when we got the homeless problem we got now, it's inconceivable to me that you would rather knock it down and sell it to and fill up the landfill. That'll give me an opportunity to try to get somebody out there. We're gonna have some businesses and they're gonna be paying revenue. And we study hard about, we get cut from the federal government, and then we sit up here and we won't give a person that's already a property owner, already a taxpayer, been a taxpayer for 30 years, several properties, and you won't give me an opportunity to do it. I've never lost a property, never had any tax problems before. And you'll sit up here and you'll rather see that not go on the tax road. And that with the additional hiring people to put in the work. Right now, we got about 5 people working on the project right now. Even though you all never gave me the opportunity to do it, because I had invested in it with the opportunity that I would have a chance to do something about it and try to help alleviate the problem that we face in this country. And so 5,000, that seemed like an extra high bar when you're trying to, I'm not a millionaire. You know, in a country that we have a lot of billionaires. Some of us are not. Some of us just out here trying to do some things. With that hope of being able to realize the Americans, to help other people, to help children, and to help businesses to run their business. And it's going to be tax rate. I say like that should be overriding factor.
Mr. Bruce, I can certainly, I think we can all understand your frustration with what's happened here. However, we did do the demolition order back in March, and 6 months ago, that's exactly right. Sir, I understand your frustration, but we didn't sell the property. The county sold the property.
That's right.
The county sold the property. I don't believe we have a lien on it, sir. That would be the county.
No, city of Muskegon.
Well, I suggest the information that's being given to me right now, sir, is that it is the county of Muskegon that has the tax lien on it, and they're the ones that proceeded to do the auction.
Why would I pay the city of Muskegon tax? Not the county. They say no real estate.
Well, we do tax collection for the county when the taxes are due, but if you take a look at the bill, there's a portion of it that's for the city, and there's a portion of it for the county, and a portion of it for community college, and a portion of it for MAISD, and so.
And I think Mr. Bruce said he paid the summer 2010 taxes, which would be city, but he paid the county to acquire the property.
That's where I'm coming from.
But the city, the county told me I had to go over to the city of Muskegon, which I did, to pay the summer taxes. I had to pay the back tax to the city of Muskegon. That's what I'm telling you. We all do have an interest in it.
Well, that's the tax that was referring to.
And you're correct, sir, that we do collect the taxes for the county. Okay, all right. Okay, thank you. Is there anyone else that would care to address the commission tonight? Seeing none, Commissioner Carter?
Seeing no one, unless you want to say something?
Jeff Elk with the Muskegon Conservation District. Just wanted to thank the Commission for working with us, partnering with us for the Richards Park Agreement, and look forward to future there. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Commissioner Carter?
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Daryl Domke. I am with the Department of Natural Resources and Environment, their Accessibility Advisory Council. And we're here today on Saturday here in Nuevo State Park for Hooking Up with Heroes fishing tournament. I'm here to observe, look at the easy dock system they have. They're on display for people with mobility issues to get into the water and kayak or canoe, you know, and just get into the water and enjoy the water. DNRE now, when they started this Accessibility Advisory Council, they changed their mission a little bit to include accessibility. So anything they look at and do from here on out for the last 3 to 4 years has been with the idea of the more accessible they can make it and still keep the outdoors to look as natural as possible without going so, you know, opening things up so much, but you have to keep things tight around the trails, but you have to make the trails accessible. And the picnic areas, the campgrounds, whether they be the rustic campgrounds to the campgrounds with your full facilities of showers and picnic tables and pavilions.
And Hooking Up Heroes is the military event. Actually came about, or at least the ideas for it came about back in late winter this year. during late winter, meeting with the Bridgeton community and many other entities, we decided that we needed the opportunity to display some docking systems and some universally designed systems for access to our Michigan rivers. And it was the need for that demonstration that kind of led to a Veteran Appreciation Day Hooking Up Heroes. In early spring this year, I actually received a phone call from a local organization, the Newaygo County Sportsman's Club. The member of the club that contacted me was actually looking on behalf of the club to provide a public service through the Department of Natural Resources, and was actually targeting our boating access sites in this community, looking to help take care of them, help us maintain them. And it just so happens that at that same time, I was sitting at my desk and scratching my head, wishing I had some help in putting together this event that we're having today. And I posed this to the e-board at the Newaygo County Sportsman's Club, and they jumped in and become very involved right off the bat. And they have been absolutely a fantastic partner with the DNR and many others in putting this together.
Hi, I'm Dave Sturdivant. We are here as a distributor of Easy Dock, and we also own an operation called Great Lakes Lift and Docks, which is an aluminum product. We manufactured the launch and the railings and so forth that you've seen in relation to what's happened here. The one item we've really featured this year has been the kayak launch. Kayak launch basically involves a pair of ports that are manufactured by the Easy Dock Corporation, which we've adapted to what we call a car wash concept, where we drive right straight or ride right straight through with our kayaks.
And I'm with the Access to Recreation initiative, and we are here at Newaygo State Park at the Hooking Up Heroes fishing event, and we are going to show you a little bit about a new universally accessible canoe kayak launch that's been developed in concert with Access to Recreation and Easy Dock and Great Lakes Lift and Dock out of Carroll, Michigan. And this is how this dock system works. It's a floating dock system. There is a launch over here that is a roller launch for the kayak or a canoe to be able to get down into it and then down into the water without getting wet. It's connected to the shore and to an accessible route here. So somebody who uses a wheelchair or walker, crutches, whatever, would have an easy walk down here. So this, if somebody had a disability, used a wheelchair or walker or something, they could roll right up here, transfer, slide their fanny over onto this part of the bench, slide over onto this part. Now, the cool thing about this is she can, sitting here, she's got good balance, can reach down and move her kayak into position. Now, there's a slide transferred board here, and you just pull out. And this slide transfer board lands on these rails here. So this is very stable. It's not going to go anywhere. Her boat is in the position that she can just transfer down, slide over, get her feet in, slide forward. Now she's going to close the transfer board. This is called a transfer slide. Close it up, easy to do. It's out of the way then. The rails on either side are what help her to move forward down into the water. And this roller system is what the kayak rolls on. So these are rollers. Right down to the end, it tips down, takes you down into the water. You push yourself out into the water. It extends out, so you've got a little bit of area to get your boat stabilized before you actually move out away from the rails. Comes right into the chute here. And these rails on both sides while she's still floating helps her to stabilize before she moves forward up onto the roller ramp here, onto the launch, pulls herself right up. She goes past the transfer system. She can pull out the shelf behind her, the transfer board, She can get her feet out, can get her fanny back up here on this. She can close up the transfer board, get it out of the way, move her boat, grab her paddle, and there she is. Back safe and sound, and she's not even wet, which is very cool. So what works about this for you?
Everything. It's seamless. It's just a natural motion of getting in, but it's such a safe, comfortable feeling. I'm not trying to pull up to a raggedy shore. I'm not worried about tipping or flipping or rolling, getting in or out. I'm not worried about throwing my back out and then not being able to do anything for the rest of my week or the rest of my month. It gives you such a sense of safety, and the design is so simple that you don't need to learn much about it. Just get in and do it and go.
This program is sponsored in part by
Make tax time less taxing with Accurate Income Tax. Your complete tax service. Quality income tax preparation, accounting and bookkeeping, small business payroll services. With very reasonable fees and senior citizen discounts. Accurate Income Tax with 2 locations, 307 West Muskegon Avenue and 5263 East Apple Avenue.
Established in 1973 by Paul M. Lattis, Lattis & Hoops Law Offices has been a multi-service law firm specializing in accident cases, personal injury, wrongful death, Social Security disability, probate and wills, divorce, criminal law, and real estate. When it comes to choosing the right attorney for your legal needs, don't choose out of town, choose local legal counsel. It really pays. It's experience when it counts. It's Lattis & Hoops Law Office.
The Pizza Ranch, featuring a buffet that is guaranteed to please even the pickiest eaters. From a full soup and salad bar, pizzas and breadsticks, to mouth-watering roasted chicken, potatoes and gravy, vegetables, drinks and desserts, all for just one price. Their menu features a wide variety of delectable favorites. You can dine in, carry out, or have your meals delivered. There's something for everyone at the Pizza Ranch.
It's like they want to get hit.
For expert auto body repair, call Ramos & Sons Auto Body, 739-7240. Call 739-7240.
Hi, I'm Kurt Fector. I'm with KT Waterfront. I'm an Easy Dock and Great Lakes dealer, and I'm happy to be here for for accessible docking for our wounded veterans here.
So our heart's been has really gone toward helping those that were a little less fortunate in terms of getting in and out. We've worked with ADA ramps and that sort of thing for several years, and this just seemed like a really nice mix in terms of what we were doing. So we've had the opportunity to build about 35 of these that are scattered around the nation at this point. The transfer stations are relatively new. In fact, the one down here is probably the 4th in existence. We've got 15 of them that are being built right now back in the plant, and the military is currently looking at them. We're a Michigan plant. We're over in a little town called Carroll. You almost can't get there from here, I discovered today, but we made it. Several months ago, the question came up: could we help with this event today? And when they mentioned disabled veterans, and that lit our candle. It really did. So we said, well, we talked with Ron Monroe, Cindy Berkauer, and I've got a real good guy in Kurt Fector who has made a lot of this happen in terms of the handling and the installation and the fine tuning of it. And as a result, this is what you see today. And it's, in my mind, it's just been really neat to watch people who wouldn't have the opportunity to do some of the things that are happening today, in and out of the kayaks over the launch, in those bass boats and out there working. And we at this time are waiting for the results of that tournament to come back. So it's been a really neat experience for us, and we continue to develop this. In fact, it's been one of those things that our crew back at Great Lakes has taken a lot of great pride in seeing this thing happen. So,
well, I've been using a wheelchair now for about almost 30 years, and over the years I've seen them change tremendously. And so I think the DNR particularly is looking for the future, looking forward to trying to do things the right way and go above and beyond the ADA and look at more what we call universal design, that it can work for anybody, everybody, regardless. And with universal design, it can, to me, is more adaptable and can be readily changed at lower expense than just the ADA.
Well, we do docks and boat lifts, and kind of excited because we've been diversifying and coming up with new systems for people with accessibility issues. So it's kind of exciting kind of direction we're going after. These products are developed with Easy Dock, OIM, and Great Lakes Lift, which is a Carroll-based manufacturer. Well, Easy Docks has special, their dock lets the UV through it, so it doesn't harm the lake bottom, and it's modular and removable, and it's really easy to install. It's an easy to use system.
Retired Air Force Major Rick Briggs. I'm the Veteran Program Manager for the Brain Injury Association of Michigan. And our main goal around the state of Michigan is to work in collaboration with the VA, the DOD, and other veteran service organizations such as the American Legion, the VFWs, the Paralyzed Vets, AMVETS, Disabled American Vets, and so on, to ensure our American combatants, when they come home, are getting the treatment they both need and deserve. Ron Monroe contacted me at the Brain Injury Association, and it was actually through my work as Vice Chair of the Department of Natural Resources Accessibility Disability Council advisory group to the DNR and to the state of Michigan to help them gain access to the outdoors. And it was through that conduit he actually contacted me in my work, and we do a number of activities around the state. We do the tight lines for troops up in Manistee, Michigan. We do the tips up for troops. We do pheasant hunts, sporting activities, and so on around the state. And those recreational-based activities, like the one Ron's putting on today, Hooking Up Heroes, is designed specifically to get veterans out to say thank you for your service. It's an opportunity for them to not only have a civilian say thank you for your service and do a little recreation, but it's an opportunity for the therapeutic aspects of outdoor recreation to really become involved. And that is our fundamental mission at the Brain Injury Association of Michigan, is to help these guys deal with the 5 major issues they face when they come home from combat. A lot of the audience doesn't know, but in the month of June this year, 2010, the Army had 32 suicides, and it's a lot like what was going on post-Vietnam. The incarceration rates are going through the roof. The homelessness, fastest growing homeless population, are between 21 and 29-year-old combat vets. And the divorce rate, the U.S. Department of Labor identifies traumatic brain injury as the single most significant barrier to sustained employment. So these 5 major issues, when they come back, not only do they have to readjust from a very difficult combat environment, but they also have to return home to a civilian population and potentially deal with some life-threatening and life-altering issues. Typically, we call these invisible wounds because the veteran will look normal and sound normal in most respects, but between PTSD or post-traumatic stress disorder or traumatic brain injury or TBI, they really have their hands full. And we're talking hundreds of thousands of troops that have been affected. Relative to other combats, there seems to be a lot of discussion all around the country about why is traumatic brain injury so prevalent now? Well, there's a number of issues that come into play for that. One, and I'll give an example. Before I joined the Brain Injury Association 4 years ago, I was a director for Operation Helmet, Michigan affiliate, and we acquired the ballistic liner upgrade kits for the troops' new helmets, Kevlar helmets. And these ballistic liners actually help the impact from the IEDs or improvised explosive devices and other ordinances that cause ballistic shock waves, and it can reduce it by up to 60%. Well, what we're seeing is our combatants today are surviving combat injuries at a rate of 2, 3, and 4 times what they did in Vietnam. So when we look at Korea, Vietnam, and World War II and so on, they were suffering every bit of the brain injuries and everything that they are now, but a number of things have happened. One is they didn't survive the injuries back then. The survival rate right now is 4 times that of what it was in Vietnam. So the helicopters, the medevacs, the triage units in the field, they're getting immediate, awesome medical care right in the theater. So they're surviving things they wouldn't have survived in other combat environments. But also what we're seeing is when they get home, this is a dual-edged sword now, they're surviving their injuries, which is wonderful, but now we have to care for them. And that's where it's critical that folks like Ron Moreau and these wonderful donors and sponsors that put on events like this really understand that that's where we're going with our message out to the public. We have a number of committees and councils I'm involved with that are doing that. I'm an advisor on a faith-based community program, which is getting out to hundreds of churches around the state of Michigan. Because what we have is we have Johnny and Susie returning from combat, and they're going to their church, and they may be struggling in their marital relationships. And the priest, the pastor, the rabbi, the minister, he doesn't understand that their marital relationships may be more than just marriage problems. There may be a combat component with that. And so what is going on is with the faith-based community, they're getting the word out to all of the parishes around the state, and that's just one of the many councils and committees that we're on to help penetrate that.
Primarily with the veterans organizations, we have a 7-stop card run associated with Hooking Up Heroes, and during that run, the 100 or more bikes that have run in that today will be stopping at American Legions, or stopping at Veterans of Foreign War posts in several communities around the watershed here. That in itself will help fund these veteran organizations.
There's a number of ways citizens around the state of Michigan can get involved with our veterans. One of the most fundamental ways is go to the local VA hospitals. We have the Battle Creek VA, the Saginaw VA, Ann Arbor VA, and Detroit VA, and then we have one up in the Upper Peninsula. And they can go there, and they need hundreds and hundreds of volunteers to help do everything they do to help care for our vets. A lot of these programs really rely on volunteer activity to help them through, because they're not funded to the level that they need to be with this huge campaign that's going on, the War on Terror. So between those organizations, they can work with them, or they can work with any of the veteran service organizations that conduct activities throughout the year. You'll see the Moving Wall, the Vietnam Memorial, traveling around the state. It was down in Hamburg 2 weeks ago. They just had it up around Clare, and that's another program that needs a lot of support. So there's a lot of things going on for our veterans. And the two organizations represented here today, the Paralyzed Veterans of America and the Brain Injury Association of Michigan, both do an awful lot of work for our wounded combatants, and they could both use some help and some donations. And on top of that, obviously when they donate their times and services to the various VSOs and that, giving a vet a ride to the veteran clinics, the veteran hospital, the VA hospitals, or the veterans home. We have 700 and some veterans right over here in Grand Rapids at the veteran home that it'd be a wonderful opportunity to spend a little time, stop by, say hi. They have activities and fishing derbies and activities all year round for them. And these are men and women who've who've earned every bit of our opportunity to help them, and anything you can do or consider would be appreciated.
We would certainly like to thank our many sponsors. Putting this event together, we were able to do this because about 70 different organizations in our communities have come together and donated towards sponsoring our teams today. In addition to those sponsors, we also have some advertising sponsors that came together and provided us with free printing. And they provided us with coverage in newspaper advertisements and things. And they're actually all together, we have over 100 sponsorships of different sizes from different organizations that all came together and made today happen. I'd like to thank every one of those organizations.
For more information how to contact me, my name is Rick Briggs. I'm the Veteran Program Manager. The Brain Injury Association website is BIAMI, and that's BIAMI, Brain Injury Association, MI for Michigan.org, O-R-G. Or you can call us at 810-229-5880. That's 810-229-5880.
If you're interested in looking into a little bit more about what we've done out here, one can go to www.michigan.gov/Newaygo. On that website, you'll see a red, white, and blue icon called Hooking Up Heroes. And from that link, you can read about the event, you can read about all of our sponsors, our organizers, and the many organizations that came together and put this day into motion.
I really feel very confident with Michigan's future. In fact, a couple of things even we, in terms of in the marine business, are looking at. We're currently developing a system where, in fact, we're installing right now an 8,000 watt solar panel system that we will potentially use as a sales tool. So, and I see that all over. You know, I talked to a young man today who basically has taken a job, a relatively recent job, in a battery factory, and you see all kinds of these kinds of things going on in Michigan. The capabilities are here. The engineers and the knowledge and the technology, the people are here. I think it's just a matter of creating some direction and continuing to forge out. And I think we'll come back, be more diversified, obviously, but we'll be a stronger state, I think, from the final analysis.
This program is sponsored in part by
Independently owned and operated for 14 years, the UPS store is a full-service color copy center with black and white copies, color copies, binding, laminating, and much, much more. We can print, create business cards, brochures, and much more to accommodate all of your printing needs. We offer house accounts as well as corporate pricing, in addition to prompt, reliable packing and shipping services. Make the UPS store your copy center.
The Trophy House and Jones Sports have been servicing the area for almost 50 years. We handle all team sports, uniforms, and equipment and have a full custom design service for your athletic and corporate logos. We have trophies, plaques, and awards for all occasions. We engrave, embroider, and do silk screening. We have stock t-shirts, sweatshirts, both hoodies and crews, sports shirts, jackets, and specialize in corporate promotional products. The Trophy House and Jones Sports, helping you promote you.
A monument is far more than a means of marking a resting place. It is a symbol of love and devotion. During your time of need, the designers and engravers at Superior Monument will work closely with you and your family. Superior Monument, building honor, respect, joy, and remembrance of a life.
Hi, West Michigan, Tom Anderson here, and I am standing in front of machines that I don't use that often. These are washing machines, but that's because we're at a special location today. We're at Sacred Subs on Larch Avenue in the city of Muskegon, and I'm here with Judy. And Judy, what is your title here?
I'm co-program director.
Oh, so you're half the responsibility here.
I'm half the responsibility, yes.
Well, tell us a little bit about what Sacred Suds is all about.
Sacred Suds is about walking with our neighbors to help them improve their lives. And we have washing machines and dryers costs $1 a load. Where else can you get a better deal? We have computers with internet access for them to use to find jobs and do resumes and schoolwork. And we have a shower facility for anybody that is in need of a shower.
Well, and basically what we're talking about is people that could be homeless or have condition problems with having living conditions, may not have access to a shower or computers, jobless, things of that nature, don't have much money.
That's right.
And you're able to provide this through a lot of support from local churches?
Yes.
Is it that the only support that comes in then?
Sarah does get some support from different grants.
Okay, we do get some people donating, making donations, and then we do have a lot of the churches collecting the money for this.
Yes.
And are there donations accepted for this from the public also?
Oh, yes. Donations are gladly accepted.
Well, and if it wasn't just cash, do you have needs for anything else?
Oh, yes. We have HE type washing machines, so we need HE type laundry detergent because the people get their own laundry detergent here.
Okay.
So that they don't wreck the machines by using their own and having too many suds in them.
Well, I noticed also when I came in, a little corner cabinet had some things like toothpaste in and things of that nature. Do you provide that also?
We have a marketplace where
Okay.
we have those things available for just a nominal fee.
Okay. Okay. Because I know a lot of people, you don't brush your teeth, you just feel like you're not a human anymore. So rather than having no money and not be able to get anything with a few cents, dime on a dollar, you can provide them with that help then.
Yes.
And who basically is your people that utilize the facilities? I mean, we're on Larch Street, which is just basically a block off Layton, not too far from Terrace. How do people get here? Where do your people that use the facilities come from? Do they live all over the county? I know it's a lot of questions all at once, but...
They do. Most of our people are neighbors and we're in the McLaughlin neighborhood and the Moon School neighborhood. So most of them are that, but we have people coming on buses. A few have their own cars and maybe they're living in their cars.
Oh,
and
I never thought of that.
And they drive over here to get the showers and get their clothes washed.
But they still want to be presentable if they have to be out there looking for work somehow or another.
Yes. And with the power outage that we've been having in Muskegon lately, how do you feel after a power outage and you don't have water and nothing to wash your clothes in? And our clients face this situation constantly.
Well, and also I'm sure once in a while they may be living in an apartment, but they may not have had the funds to pay their water bill or their electric bill. So they may have the appliances, but not the use of them.
That's right. One other service we also give that is very important, and that is during tax time, we do taxes for free through VITA.
Okay.
And the last few years, we've done over 200 people's taxes.
Well, and if you have that Social Security number and does it go to a USA, that's something that keeps you alive and the government knows who you are for collecting Social Security or whatever. Or if you had some form of income, don't have the knowledge and the wherewithal to fill those crazy things out, which none of us like to do.
Right.
That's been very beneficial, I'm sure.
Yes. And we have older people that people have said, you don't have to file taxes anymore, but they forget about the Michigan property tax credit. And we've had a lot of people that are getting money back from the Michigan property tax credit.
Money they didn't even realize was theirs to get.
That's right.
That's great. Now, you said older people. I know it's probably hard to categorize, but what age group do you have a regular age group, or is it just all over the?
It's all over. I'd say most of our people are in their 30s and 40s, some 50s. Tax people, we have a lot of senior citizens.
Okay, a lot of senior citizens that just, everything's complicated when you're a senior today.
Oh, yes.
Don't quote that. And also, do you get individuals or do you get families? Or you get single parents with kids?
We get all of those.
All, okay. In other words, your door is open to anybody and everybody that has a need.
That's right.
Well, we have to tell people then, what is the address here?
This is 289 East Larch. And if you know where Reiche's Bakery is, it's right around the corner.
Oh, I got to correct you on one thing, though. I did a show over there one time, and they said it's not Reiche's, it's Reich's.
Well,
we'll give them a little bit of advertising on this, but you know where they are. You can find Sacred Suds very easily.
Very much so.
Well, Judy, how long has Sacred Suds been in operation?
We've been in an operation for 6.5 years.
Wow, always at the same location?
Always in the same location.
What started it? What initiated this concept and idea?
Father Joe Ashby from St. Paul's came from a larger town that had truck stops where people could get showers.
Okay.
And he came to Muskegon and there was no such thing. So he got along around with many people from different congregations and they started Sacred Suds. We started with 2 washers and 2 dryers.
Oh my goodness, and we're standing in front of a bank of washers here. Are they washer-dryers combination? Or are you...
Washers are on the bottom, dryers are on the top.
Oh, okay. You know how much I can tell about it. They
About
look pretty.
like some of our people that try to wash their clothes in the dryers.
Oh, okay, because what they are, they're very nice pieces of equipment. So you've been here about going on 6.5 years now, and it always has been at this location then?
Yes.
And this location, I'm sure, was found because it services your public well that you that have the need.
Yes.
Very good. And it's still funded a lot by the churches.
Yes.
Well, the church I go to, I know every Sunday they always have a special offering that goes to different things. And there's always one of the times that the money goes to Sacred Suds. And you always have a financial need, correct?
We always have a financial need.
Well, Judy, if anybody wanted to call this place, do you have a phone here?
Yes. 726-4161.
726-4161. You never call it, so it's hard to remember it.
Right.
But if anybody wants to ever ask about how we can help, either a financial donation or buy in certain products that you need that you make available for these people, you can call, right?
They sure can.
Okay, or make a monetary donation.
That's right.
Okay. And, well, we're hoping the best for you for another 6.5 years. It seems to be filling a great need, especially in these bad economic times in our Muskegon area.
Yes. And I just should put a plug in for the fact that we're a program of Community and Compass.
Well, that's necessary. We appreciate it very much. Do you do this all by yourself? You said you are a co, so there must be somebody else you share the time here?
Yes.
Okay.
We share half time.
Very good. Well, we appreciate what you're doing for our community. It's nothing but makes our community shine and get a lot better. Judy, thank you very much. We are here at Sacred Suds on East Larch. The number is?
289.
289 East Larch. And if you know of anybody that has the use and the needs of the equipment here, it's very reasonable and provides them for those that do not have a method otherwise. The showers, the computers. You can print out a resume. You can do a job search. And while you're doing that, you can do your laundry and do your drying of it also. And that's for the homeless, for the needy, for the people that may live in cars, or whatever. Your door is always open.
Yes.
Well, it's not always. We're closed on Fridays, aren't we?
Well, usually we're open Friday afternoon.
Okay.
But we were closed this afternoon.
Okay. Otherwise, are you open 5 days a week, 6 days a week?
5 days. Monday through Thursday, it's from 9 till 5. And on Friday, it's from 12 to 4.
Okay, thank you very much. West Michigan, Sacred Suds of Michigan, or Muskegon area, it needs your support. Make sure you can help it, and it is doing a great job. Thank you very much, Judy, for what you and your crew are doing here. Tom Anderson saying, thanks for watching, West Michigan.
This program is sponsored in part by
Brooklight Schultz and Associates Incorporated. Investment products and services. For more information, call 799-9889 or 866-799-9889.
Locally owned and operated, J. Stevens Construction has been serving the West Michigan area since 1985. Fully licensed, bonded, and insured, they train certified technicians to install single-ply membrane roofing for residential, commercial, and industrial buildings.
Dogstar Ranch is a fully fenced 48-acre canine care facility located in Muskegon. Check us out on the web at www.dogstarranch.com. Dogstar Ranch, a place that'll give your dog something to bark about.
Borgman Tree Service. We provide tree trimming and removal, stump grinding, brush and stump disposal, and cleanup after storm damage. Borgman Tree Service, 231-788-4163.
Hello, West Michigan. We are here this afternoon at Muskegon's Hackley Public Library for their Therapy Dog Reader Program. I'm going to introduce you to Bruce McLenithan. He is the president of West Michigan Therapy Dogs, and have him explain a little bit about what we're doing here this afternoon.
Well, first of all, thanks a lot for having us.
Certainly.
Really appreciate being here. We're a fairly large group of 250 members, and we provide dogs to 129 different programs.
Wow.
And one of our real successful programs is Rough Readers. And Rough Readers is the opportunity for a young child to read to a dog.
Aww.
And of course, dogs are not very critical. And consequently, it's really good to develop the reading skills of the young people.
That's excellent. What ages are the kids typically?
Well, generally, they're usually, we usually get up maybe about 12, so reading age to about 12.
Neat. And what ages are the dogs?
The dogs are all ages. You have to be 1 year old to be a West Michigan Therapy Dog.
Are they particular breeds?
No, they're not. In fact, I was kind of disappointed today. One of our special dogs, a pit bull, couldn't make it. But so you can read to a pit bull, you can read to a Bernese Mountain Dog.
Neat.
And of course, my particular favorite are the miniature schnauzers because they're our dogs.
Tell me a little bit about what it takes to be a therapy dog. How does that program work?
The way it works is generally you like to see a dog that does have some obedience, socializes well with other dogs, and I'm going to say socializes with people. Now, have to be careful there. I don't want them jumping on people.
Right.
But at least, is comfortable around people. So that's the traits we look for. The very first thing that we do is we do a little pre-screen before we allow people to take the class.
Okay.
They come in, and what they do is we put them in some different types of situations in that to make sure that there's a good chemistry. After we've approved them, then they take the 7-week class.
Okay.
After the 7-week class, if they pass, they then do 3 shadow visits. So they go out with 3 different members, 3 different places, and we do a write-up on them. And if they pass those, then they can become a member of West Michigan Therapy Dog.
Oh, how cool.
We cover everything. We go into DeVos Kids Hospital. We go to St. Mary's Hospital. We go to Metropolitan Hospital, or Metro Health Hospital it's called now. But we do that. We do Mary Free Bed. Then we also go to a lot of seniors' homes. And we go to hospice programs.
Oh, wonderful.
So pretty much everything.
You were telling me something kind of neat that I'd like you to share on camera about a gentleman with Alzheimer's.
Yeah, it wasn't too long ago, and what we had is we had a situation where individual, we brought the dog in, and the fella could not remember his wife's name, but he remembered the dog's name from the week previous, and it just kind of touches your heart, and you really feel the dogs do some good.
So these dogs are owned by West Michigan residents then?
Yes, they're owned by the people that take them.
And these people bring them in and put them in service?
Yes, they do.
How
They are
neat.
different than a service dog. A service dog is covered by the American Disabilities Act.
Absolutely.
These are not.
These are just, yeah.
So you're not going to see these wandering around grocery stores
No.
helping somebody.
No.
They strictly are more for the socialization with the patients.
How cool. I remember this was a few years back, and they still work with us. We work closely with Clock Funeral Home, and Jody Clock began with Max, and he was the therapy dog at Clock, and he was fantastic. He was basically there just to provide comfort.
My wife had a really, when you talk about funerals, my wife had a very interesting situation with a lady, an older lady that she helped. This lady was kind of ornery and kind of tough on the staff. And what we ended up doing is Kathy would bring a hard-boiled egg each week, and they wanted her to use her hands more. So she'd bring her the hard-boiled egg, she would break the egg and peel it, which was giving her therapy, and she'd feed it to the dog. And developed a close affiliation with the dog. And when she passed away, her family actually got in touch with my wife and wanted the dog to go to the funeral.
Oh, how sweet. Tell me what got you into this and how long you yourself have been involved.
Well, I can tell you, I'm going to blame my wife for it. She's the one that got me involved. She had been involved for a few years with it. We've always had dogs. We love dogs. But she'd been really involved in taking the dogs and everything else. And then she got me taking one of the dogs to a Metro hospital. And then they were up for, it was election time. And I've been very involved in a lot of different volunteer organizations, and they were looking for some people to, that administratively might want to help out. So I ran for president, got elected, and ended up president of the organization.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the dogs that are visiting today.
Well, today we have Barb Gino's dog, Max, and Barb is one of the new board members and also does some dog training and everything else. Don't know a lot about Max, I hate to tell you, but we also have a young lady over there, Abigail, who has Roxy with her, and then Kathy is here, my wife, with Skyla, who's our dog.
Oh, how neat is that? That's wonderful. Well, I would love to thank you for this. This has been great. Maybe now we can speak to a couple of the dog owners.
You sure
and meet the dogs and maybe
that would be great.
Maybe talk to some parents of
The
kids.
dogs, I'm sure, would love to speak with you.
Absolutely. Thank you once again, Bruce.
As them, my sad tale can't talk, but I can tell you my story, said Dog. One night I was doing a comedy show for the sheep, and a wolf stole a side of.
This is Abigail and Roxy. Hi, how you doing? Tell me a little about you and Roxy.
Well, Roxy is 8 years old, and she is a rescue. And we got her from an animal shelter from Ionia.
And what kind is she?
We think that she might be a beagle mix.
Oh, she's so cute.
But we're not exactly sure. So we've had her ever since she was a puppy, and we graduated from West Michigan Therapy Dog back in December.
That's excellent. What got you interested in putting Roxy into therapy dogs?
Well, my husband and I don't have any children, but my girlfriend came over with her little boy, and I seen how Roxy interacted with the little boy, and I knew that I had to do something with her rather than just letting her stay inside all day and look at squirrels. So here we are.
That's incredible. So does she just do the Rough Reader program, or does she do all therapy?
Actually, this is her first time with the Rough Reader program. And I normally do another program with at-risk teenagers.
Oh wow, how neat.
Yes.
How do you think that's going? Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, it's really great. It's a quite a bit different setting than a library. We're actually in a gymnasium. So we do agility work with the dogs. And it's shown to help the boys lower their aggression.
Really?
Yes.
That's pretty neat. Do you see, like, if you think of some of the kids that have gone through the program that you've worked with, do you actually see a difference in them as they work with the kids or with the dogs?
Yes, definitely.
Do you?
There's definitely a difference in their demeanor and just how they exchange communications with their other peers that are in the program, and it's awesome.
What a warm feeling that must give you, huh?
It does.
That's amazingly cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to thank you.
Thank you.
And I'd like to thank you too, Pop. You're such a sweet dog, aren't you? Yeah, look at her. She's a ham, aren't she? Yeah. Thank you.
This program is sponsored in part by
A family-owned and operated business for 50 years, C&C Floor Covering and Supply offers installation, sales, and service of your carpets, vinyl, ceramic tile, and all of your floor covering needs. For more information, call 231-726-3378. Located at 974 Pine Street. It's CNC Floor Covering and Supply.
Frontier Mart, located at 631 West Southern Avenue. From check cashing, money orders and utility payments, to cell phones, ATM and lotto, to cold beverages, hot coffee, party snacks and fresh sliced meats, to delectable lunch and dinner favorites like fried chicken, gyros, and a variety of pizzas. It's Frontier Mart.
Since 1885, Olson's TV and Appliances has featured a wide variety of quality appliances, televisions, and stereo equipment. They also provide installation, repair, and delivery. Olson's TV and Appliances, a name you can trust, service you can rely on.
Today's Family Dentistry, Dr. Harvey Comrie, located at 340 Seminole Road in Muskegon. We cater to coloreds. For further information, call 231-737-2273 or 231-737-4511.
At Classic Computer, we buy, sell, and service both laptops as well as PCs. We can special order parts or upgrade your existing computer. Anything from hard drives to DVD burners, from Ethernet cables and memory to the latest in PCs and laptops. We're Classic Computer, sales and service. For more information, call 231-773-5957.
Going in, 3 dogs going out. A red dog on a blue tree, a blue dog on a red tree, a green dog on a yellow tree. Some big dogs and some little dogs are going around in cars. A dog
Everyone, this is Barb Gino. She's the project director for West Michigan Therapy Dogs. Hi, Barb.
Hello.
And this is Max, right?
This is Max.
Tell me a little bit about Max.
Max is soon to be a 3-year-old yellow Labrador Retriever.
Mm-hmm.
He's very blocky and very stocky, but there's a lot there to grab and love.
And very happy.
He's a very happy
And you told
dog.
me he likes to lick.
Yes, Max.
You said he can't hold his liquor?
No, he can't hold his liquor. So Max wears this head halter to remind him of his manners. But yeah, that's our joke. Max doesn't hold his liquor too well.
Tell me how you yourself got involved with West Michigan Therapy Dogs. You have quite an interesting story.
I've always had pets my entire life, and I've had, through every adversity that I've gone through, my dogs have always been there for me. Back in 2004 or 5, I learned about West Michigan Therapy Dogs, and my first dog, Maggie, is a black lab that was trained and registered through West Michigan Therapy Dog. And it allows me the opportunity to share my dogs with other people who are also going through some challenges, whether it's physical or helping them to learn to read, or we do a number of different programs. We volunteer at the hospital and work with children who are coming in for surgery, and I do on-call at the hospital as well for children who are coming in for alleged sexual abuse, and having the dog there during those examinations has proven to be very helpful to the child.
Wonderful.
And then I also do by appointment visits for hospice. So we do a lot of different things.
And you can understand some of this, I understand. You've
Yes.
had your own personal story.
Yes,
It's been-
back in 2000 I was diagnosed, actually with stage 4 lymphoma. And I've been very fortunate that my health has returned, and we've been able to beat the cancer so far.
Fantastic.
But throughout that journey, aside from my husband, of course, my dogs have been there with me. And I'm a little selfish because if I ever have to go through that again, I know that I'm going to be able to have my dogs with me even more because of their training and the certifications that they...
Now, how old was this guy when you got him involved?
Max was 10 weeks old, and we immediately started training
Really?
him for the things that were basic to a good therapy dog. And I was fortunate in having that knowledge from my first dog. And so we immediately started socializing Max. And he was very good at that. He loves everybody. It was getting his obedience training down that was the biggest challenge for Max. He liked to play more than he liked to listen.
Tell me a little bit about what you start with. How does the training process work?
With socialization, we want the dog out. We want them meeting different types of people. We want them around children. We want them around other, even exposing them to different ethnicity. Because we've had dogs that have not had that exposure that are uncomfortable meeting people of different color. And we get them out, we socialize them to noises and touches and different textures. There's a lot of things that you don't think about with your dogs when they're working. Just like when we go into a hospital, the floors are highly waxed, and sometimes that can be a challenge for a dog to walk on. Different sounds, especially if we're visiting in a hospital setting. There's a lot of medical machinery that's beeping and squeaking and making a lot of different noises.
They have to get used to that and not be startled.
Yep, and then also part of our training, we do a lot of things through the formal training. There's different scents that we expose them to, because some dogs don't like the smell of alcohol or other scents that are in the hospital. And then a lot of our dogs visit medical care facilities, senior residents, and there is different types of socialization and training that we look for in each facility and situation that the dogs visit in.
Fantastic. Yeah. I asked this question to Bruce, and he told me that many dogs, many different types of dogs are used in this program, but what type of dogs, in your opinion, are more conducive?
Actually, I like to say we have pit bulls to poodles and little 3-pound Yorkies to 250-pound Mastiffs. Wow. And what we look for is a dog that enjoys interaction. You can see Max would lay here all day and let us pet him. And when we are doing that, we're looking at the dog actually enjoys it, not that it is submissive to it, but enjoys the interaction.
Wonderful.
Obviously, I'm partial to Labrador Retrievers, and they are a great social dog.
They're just the all-around family puppy dog.
They really are, but we have so many wonderful dogs that have come into West Michigan, and you can tell that they enjoy it. They feed off of that positive feeling they're getting back from the individual they're working with, and you know, I can't really say there's a specific breed. Like I say, we've got every mix, mash, pedigree you can imagine.
And every age, too.
And
from
every
a year
age,
up.
yeah.
That's wonderful.
I work quite a bit with our training program, and we've registered dogs as old as 12 and 13 years old.
How nice. Yeah. How nice. What a great way for a senior dog, too.
It is.
What a great
It
service
is.
for them.
And a lot of times they're at a great level of their life that they're just very well paced. They've had that socialization, and they're just very accepting and calm.
And I know that Therapy Dogs is a nonprofit and volunteer organization. Tell me a little bit more about.
Well, I've shared, the different breeds and sizes of dogs, and we really have individuals from every background and profession as well that participate in West Michigan Therapy Dog. I actually retired as the circuit court director and friend of the court, and I'm serving now as a county commissioner in Newaygo County.
Wonderful.
But we have the head of our training program is a psychologist that specializes in elder
How
care.
neat.
We have dog trainers. We have, I'm just trying to go through all of the different professions that we have. We have store owners. They're really as varied as our dogs are the professions that also volunteer with the organization. And everybody gives so much of their time and our own money to travel and to be able to do these things. We are a nonprofit organization, and you can donate to us through United Way. And every dollar that we receive is turned right back into the program.
That's excellent. And like I said, if you have the desire to give, and it it doesn't matter what walk of life.
No.
If you love dogs and you have the desire to give, right? That's really all
true.
that matters.
We have training classes pretty much throughout the year, and we have a pre-screening program where the dog is tested for temperament and obedience. And even if you don't have a dog, we accept people into the program to help us. Or if people are interested in starting a program, they can contact us through our website
That's
and
fabulous.
indicate that they're interested in starting a program in their facility or organization.
Fabulous.
And if you want to contact our organization, you can do it through our website, and that is www.wmtd.clubexpress.com, and WMTD is West Michigan Therapy Dogs. You can just even Google that. And to contact us by phone, our phone number is 616-726-1256. Did you read that, Max? Can you see that?
Aw, how cute. What a cool program.
It is. It's just
that's
wonderful.
That's great. And
I tell everybody that there isn't a better day than me spending it with my dog and making people feel better.
what a super, I was going to ask you if you had a thought for people, and that right there is it. Oh,
Yes,
that's
it is.
wonderful. Thank you so much
very
for
welcome.
talking to us. And hey, I got a paw. Hi.
He's like, oh,
Hey,
I'm
thank
waking
you,
up.
Joe. You're waking up. You got this.
Good job.
Thank you once again, Barb, and
Thank
thank
you.
you, buddy. Thanks, Matt.
Two big dogs going up, one little dog going down. One green dog going up, the yellow dog is down. A red dog is out, one dog up.